Right, YouTubers, Facebookers and Instagrammers, so I'm making a video on something I haven't really done before. The first thing I ideally want you to do before watching the rest of this video is to drop down into the description below and watch the video that I'm going to link into that description. And the reason is that what I want to talk about today is how much a dog can change over a period of time. So in the video that I'd like you to go back and watch, it's one of my client's dogs about 8 months ago. I did quite a lot of work with this dog for my client, who was an online client. She was slightly struggling with the pace of the dog. I managed to get on top of her, get her turning sharp and stopping. And you'll see that she's hunting and turning and stopping quite nicely, but she's not hunting vigorously and she's not taking a huge amount of ground in. But flip forward 8 months to the rest of this video that I want you to watch in a moment, and you'll see how much that dog has developed in 8 months. So the pace of the dog, the distance that it's traveling from the handler, the conditions has a lot to do with that, and also the overall development of the dog. And one of the dangerous things with people that I find a lot of the time is you can get to 12, 18 months, 2 years old and think you know your dog, and you think you've taken yourself across that finishing line. But that dog's natural development carries on developing till 2.5, 3 years old. And so if you think at a year old or 18 months you're under the control, the dog is under control, and you feel you have the measure of the dog, it can be very dangerous to then sit back and think you've done it. So 8 months ago, this dog was very, very easygoing. It was across my toes, wasn't taking a lot of ground in, was moving nicely, but it didn't have a huge amount of drive. Flip forward 18 months into the winter months, it's cooler, there's more scent on the ground, and the dog is drive and distance that is covering has increased massively. And that's what you're going to see in this video. So ideally go back first now and click on the description, watch that video so you see, then come back to this video and watch the rest of the video, and hopefully you'll see the development change of this dog. I still feel there's a lot more to come from this dog. We are now hunting her a game and she is steady. We don't have any flushes in the video, but you'll see the pace, the distance, and the way that the dog is moving has changed a lot. And that's something to be very aware of, that changes over time. So even if you think you're there and you know your dog at 18 months, you have to be very, very careful, because the likelihood of that dog carry on developing, especially into the winter months when the drive and the pace comes up, you need to be very, very aware of that. So anyway, I hope you watch the rest of this video and you'll see the difference in the dog from 8 months apart. Right guys, so here we are then with Anita and her Springer bitch. You'll see straight away that she's already taking in quite a lot more ground than she did on the previous video. We're going to keep Anita moving all the time, that's the main thing. You'll notice that she's using her shoulders and her hands to manipulate where she wants the dog to go. So when she pips the dog, if the dog is in front, we're leaning over to touch her toes, and just as the dog gets to us, we're pushing it out to the side. And if the dog's either out to the left or the right, then we use our shoulders and the pip to get the dog coming through nice and tight, hopefully across her toes. So very much manipulating it through 2 or 3 different gestures. We're also allowing the dog to have her head and have a good hunt. You see she's having a great time. That tail's going all the time. And she's now a very capable hunting dog that can find game. We've had plenty of flushes with her, which she's completely steady on now, which is fantastic. It has taken some time. A little fast forward there because that bit wasn't so interesting. She's not perfect yet. She's still traveling around sometimes. She's a dog that definitely likes a little bit of cover. She's still not hardened to bramble and super thick cover like here. She goes in a little bit but doesn't investigate too hard. But again, there's still more development to come in this dog. But as I said, the main thing that I want you to take in is how much the dog is traveling. So the distance that she's going away, which is the limit now. I wouldn't want her to go any further than what she is doing. And also the pace that she's covering the ground with. Again here, really working nicely across Anita's toes when she pips. Have to mind the partridge pen there. And her intensity has just come up a lot. And as I said in the beginning part of this video, how your dog is at 18 months or a year or even at 2 years, that development line continues to move forwards. So keeping up your training and your development with the dog as it progresses in its ability. So think of your dog as having a natural ceiling on its ability, and often you'll never know what that natural ability is maybe until you get to 2 or 3 years old. And so at 18 months you can think, okay, this dog is very manageable, but then the dog goes up 2 or 3 gears. See, she loves that nice little bit of cover there. She's getting nice and busy, and you know, she's not a trial dog, okay, but she is a very, very good shooting dog now for Anita that hopefully will be able to take either beating or picking up. She does have a basic retriever as well. She wasn't the strongest retriever as a puppy, but often you can come back round on this at other points later on. Nice little stop there, nice and close in front of her, nothing fancy, no distance on it yet. Here we are doing a little bit of bramble. She will do the bramble. If it's really thick, she does shy away a little bit. Often people ask me, you know, when will a dog do cover? But if you don't if you're not too pushy with them and you allow them to naturally develop and find game and cover, they will slowly want to go deeper and deeper into that cover. But the main thing, as I've said, I want people to pick up on this video is how much the dog can change in 8 months between sort of 18 months in this case and sort of just over 2 years old. And I think that's really, really important to take note of this if you can, because I do meet a lot of people that often contact me at 8 months, 18 months to 2 years and say that the dog changed an awful lot. And the dog that they once had that was very manageable and controllable has now gone out of their control. And that's because you think that the dog that you've got at that age is what you're going to end up with for the rest of its life, and yet the dog will carry on developing. Anyway, I hope this video has been useful for you. I'll try and continue to make good content for you. Another nice stop there, just get Anita to stand still, go back to where she was when she blew her stop whistle. Going to make her wait a little bit, and then she's going to recall her in and then push her back out off to the side there, and off we go again. So anyway, as I said, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's sort of opened up your eyes as to what can come a little bit later on. If you're looking for help and support, go through to my Facebook page, Hampshire Spaniel Training, where you can DM me and I can give you some details on me being able to help you out to continue to develop your young Spaniel. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. Catch you later, guys.